Corona del Mar was not always the established seaside village we know today. Before the luxury homes, flower-named streets, restaurants, and boutiques, this was an isolated stretch of coastline that was difficult to reach. Today, I am taking you through the history of Corona del Mar, California. We will visit some of its most recognizable landmarks and explore the village and flower streets. Look at how the community developed. I am Barrett Hayden with Living Life in Orange County, California. I have lived in Orange County for more than 25 years, and I love sharing the history, neighborhoods, and lifestyle that make this area so special. Long before modern development, this coastal region was home to indigenous communities who lived throughout what is now Orange County. In the late 1800s, the surrounding land became part of the Irvine Ranch. Then, in 1904, Los Angeles real estate promoter George E. Hart purchased approximately 706 acres from the Irvine Company. Hart named the new development Corona del Mar and imagined it becoming a coastal retreat. He laid out streets and offered lots starting at only $100. That sounds like the bargain of the century today, but at the time, buyers were not exactly lining up. The biggest problem was access. There was no convenient coastal highway connection. As part of his purchase agreement, Hart constructed a pier near what is now Marguerite Avenue. Residents and prospective buyers could travel by ferry from the Balboa Pavilion to the Corona del Mar Wharf. For nearly 2 decades, that pier was an important connection to the outside world. Large waves later damaged and eventually destroyed it around 1917. Pacific Coast Highway and the annexation of Corona del Mar's future began to change during the 1920s. The community was annexed into Newport Beach in 1924, giving residents the dependable city services. Then, in 1926, a portion of Pacific Coast Highway through Corona del Mar opened, and finally, the inland villages were easier to reach. This charming bridge is one of the best surviving connections to old Corona del Mar. The Goldenrod Footbridge was completed in 1928. It allowed residents to cross over Bayside Drive and reach the beach more easily. City leaders also hoped that improved beach access would encourage people to purchase property and build homes in the developing community. It did not create an immediate land rush, but almost a century later, the bridge remains one of Corona del Mar's most beloved landmarks. The flower streets, one of the most recognizable parts of Corona del Mar, is itself collection of flower-named streets. George Hart originally numbered these streets. Later, developers began using flower names, which appeared on subdivision maps by the early 1920s. The names include acacia, begonia, carnation, dahlia, goldenrod, heliotrope, iris, jasmine, marguerite, poinsettia, and poppy. Marguerite Avenue was originally associated with the old pier and was known as Pier Street. After the pier disappeared, the street was likely renamed Marguerite to continue the flower theme. And here is a fun piece of history. Poinsettia Street was once called Pansy Street. The city of Newport Beach changed its name in 1940. Early development, even after Pacific Coast Highway opened, Corona del Mar did not develop overnight. Historic photographs from the late 1920s show entire blocks with very few homes. The coastal village remained quiet and sparsely developed for many years. Big Corona and the beach Big Corona also looked very different in the early years. Historic photographs show an almost empty coastline without the bluff-top homes we see today. Newport Beach worked to acquire and protect the beach area, and it eventually became Corona del Mar State Beach. Today, the beach harbor entrance and scenic overlooks are among the defining features of the community. Another important Corona del Mar landmark is Sherman Library and Gardens. Sherman Library and Gardens beginnings date to the 1950s, when Arnold Haskell purchased the property here and began creating gardens around his office. The first section of the gardens opened in 1966. Today, Sherman combines beautiful botanical gardens with a historical research library that preserves photographs, maps, documents, and stories from Southern California and the Pacific Southwest. It is the perfect place to appreciate both the natural beauty and history of Corona del Mar. Modern Corona del Mar beginnings in 1950s and 60s. Corona del Mar grew beyond the original village with communities such as Shore Cliffs, Irvine Terrace, Cameo Shores, and Cameo Highlands. Over time, small cottages, beach homes, and quiet streets became part of one of Orange County's most desirable residential communities. What makes Corona del Mar so distinctive today is that its history is still visible. You see it in the walkable village grid, the flower streets, original cottages, Goldenrod Footbridge, coastal overlooks, and longtime local businesses. At the same time, the community has evolved with luxury homes, newer architecture, upscale shopping, and dining. For buyers, the appeal is not only the home, it is the ability to walk to coffee shops, restaurants, and the beach, while remaining close to Newport Center, Fashion Island, John Wayne Airport, and the rest of Orange County. Today, the bridge no longer connects an isolated settlement to the beach. It connects one of Orange County's most walkable coastal neighborhoods to views like this. Corona del Mar, a facility of the Division of Biology, California Institute of Technology, built by the Balboa Palisades Club in 1926 as their boat and bathhouse, purchased by Caltech in 1930 and named after a major donor, William G. Kerckhoff. And here, the Great Rescue of 1925. On June 14, 1925, the 40-foot fishing boat, Thelma, capsized at the entrance of Newport Harbor after being struck by large waves, throwing all 17 men overboard. Duke Kahanamoko Wright, Olympic gold medal swimmer, rescued 8 fellow surfers. Gerard Volte left and Owen Hale left middle. Bill Herwig, right middle, and local businessman William McLennan, not shown, aided in the rescue. Others including Charles Plummer, Anton Duraga, T.W. Sheffield, and J.W. Porter witnessed the tragedy and helped bring survivors and bodies to shore. Despite all efforts, 5 men on board perished, but 12 were saved. Their heroism made surfboards a standard lifeguard tool and cemented the Great Rescue in Newport Beach history. How cool is that? This gorgeous $16,195,000 home has 4 bedrooms and 4 bathrooms and is approximately 4,770 square feet. Gorgeous. It sits on Ocean Boulevard and overlooks this gorgeous harbor. This beautiful $7,980,000 home has 4 bedrooms and 5 bathrooms and is 2,483 square feet. If you can see it behind me, it is gorgeous. This beautiful $4,950,000 home has 3 bedrooms and 4 bathrooms, and it's 1,885 square feet. It is gorgeous, and it sits right here, walking distance to this beautiful Goldenrod Bridge. Right here in the heart of Corona del Mar is Sherman Library and Gardens, one of the village's most beautiful local landmarks. It combines botanical gardens with a research library focused on the history of the Pacific Southwest. Even from the outside, you can see how this peaceful garden fits right into the charm of Corona del Mar today. I've shared neighborhood tours, property tours, and insights, and what it's really like to live throughout Orange County. I also work with homeowners preparing properties for the market and helping them position their home successfully. Hi, I'm Barrett Hayden, your local Orange County real estate guide. If you love coastal living, lifestyle tours, and a little real estate wisdom sprinkled in, make sure you hit like and subscribe.